all know a guy who only occasionally shaves for big occasions, and it's because that occasional shave really hurts. It's the time of year for big occasions, and yet there he is, suffering with that cheap drugstore razor. Let's help him out. Henson Shaving's line of razors, built with aerospace precision, deliver a smooth shave your dad, brother, and even son can enjoy, eventually. With replacement blades just 10 cents each, you'll buy it once and they'll use it for life. How's that for the perfect gift? Celebrate with 100 free blades on your first purchase, and no subscription headaches. HensonShaving.com/holiday.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through December 3rd, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through December 3rd, only at BJ's.
Now,
the No Fruit Podcast.
yeah.
Hello, everyone. This is Maurice.
And this is Kafa.
We thank you for tuning in today. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Yes, we do hope that you enjoy today's episode. Thank you for tuning in today.
Thank you.
And we are excited. What are we talking about today, Carl?
We are talking about life and some of the things that life has brought to us. Free time to sit back and watch movies, cuddled up on the TV.
We cuddle up on the TV?
I mean, cuddle up on the sofa. Yeah, that's kind of hard to cuddle up on TV.
Right.
Maybe back in the day when the TV was like the size of a table.
Right.
But nowadays they're just thin, like pictures.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been able to sit back and enjoy some movies and TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to tell you a little bit about what we've been watching.
Yeah, so there's this one TV show, this movie that I know that's kind of blew me away. But it makes me think about what we are going through as a society today. Mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the desire of having a father around. There was a lot of messages in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. And
the working woman.
yes.
How to get ahead in the career.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's a lot of takeaways from this movie that we watched recently.
So the movie is called Blonde.
Blonde.
And for those of you who have not watched it, it is on the Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And it was wait a minute, was it on Netflix? Yes, I think it was on Netflix. And it was very interesting. And I say that because it started off very, with the mom showing a picture of this is your dad. Well, I'm giving a synopsis. I'm going to be jumping around. But the idea was, that Marilyn Monroe, because the movie is called Blonde, but it's about Marilyn Monroe. And it starts off with her childhood.
It's about Norma Jean.
Yeah, Norma Jean Hutchins. Wait a minute, what was her last name?
I don't know.
I can't remember. But to start off with her as a child, I would give somewhere around 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there. And didn't realize that her mom was dealing with mental illness. And so, and she was in California, and she said that she had a picture of this male that she was saying that was Marilyn's dad, or Norma Jean's dad. And so throughout the whole movie, Norma Jean was forever searching for her father, and she was calling every male in her life daddy. A lot of times we talk about this, father not being home or in the household or whatever. And so the imagery that kids have, for their father not being around, whether they're based off the picture that their parents had given. I mean, the opposite person had given, or whether they had based it off of, a TV show, whatever it is. Because Kafi and I, we talk about being raised, quote unquote, by the Cosbys and things like that.
Right.
So Norma Jean was in a very similar situation where she was always looking for her father throughout the whole movie. And I didn't realize that she died so young. She died at like 35 years old. And for her to be married like 3 different times, and, she had gone through a lot of different pregnancies and things like that. Like, she had a really, really hard life, always looking for her parent or parents at some point in time, because her mother was, dealing with her own.
To the hospital for mental health. So I think another part that kind of made Norma Jean keep looking for something was just how society had placed men. Again, men were the head of the household. They went and worked. They, provided for their families, and the woman was just someone who was, in the household, taking care of the family, things like that. So in Norma Jean's life, it wasn't that.
Right.
Right. There was no male, at least in this movie. It didn't show that she had an uncle or a grandfather or even, a neighbor that was able to assist in a good way. That she did have a neighbor, but that neighbor, both the male and the female, took advantage of her in a sexual way.
Right.
At a young age. Don't know how long that process was. The movie didn't go too much into detail about it, but when her mother had a mental breakdown, they took her in for a while.
Right.
And we believe that was some of the issues that had gone on at that particular time while her mother was hospitalized. So I think, again, just back in that day, again, males were so much more revered and put into, they had to work and they had to take care of the family, and the wife didn't. So I don't remember what year she was born. Do you remember, babe?
I think it was 1927.
Okay.
Somewhere 25, 27, I don't know, somewhere around there.
Okay. So, but even with all of that, hey, women couldn't vote. Women couldn't really work. There was a whole lot of things that women were not allowed to do. So I'm looking things up here, and it seems like her first movie was in 1947 with Dangerous Years. And again, what was being depicted of women on the movie screen, and I think she had issue with that. From the movie, it seemed that she had issue with how women were being depicted and the types of roles that she had. She wanted to be a serious actress, but in movies, she, they just wanted her to be the dumb blonde, if you will. For people to laugh at and to mock, for her to be a sex symbol, a pinup. And at times that was a struggle.
Right.
Especially with her background. It was, tough for not only just the sexualization and everything else that she had going on mentally, working with her mother, knowing that her mother was mentally ill, and I think at some time in the movie she even questioned, like, was this hereditary?
Hereditary, right.
Like, hey, am I going to get this too? Will this be passed on to my children?
Right.
I think she questioned a lot of that, and that caused her to make certain decisions in her life.
And one of the things that I want to put this disclaimer out there that we understand that in this movie, they might have taken some political licenses, if you will.
Right.
We understand that, but understanding that their message, to me was clear in a lot of different things. As much as Marilyn was, as you said, a sex symbol, right?
Right.
but she didn't. Per this movie, she did not like it. You
Yeah,
know,
not at all.
and
Right.
she didn't like the fact of how the men were treating her behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because of it appeared that she was raped. You know, a few times. That's the impression that you give. That they had given. You've seen it once. I can remember once of them showing her being raped, but it was and she her thing was like, hey, I had to go through that to become an actress, to get into this place. Well, this is not what I want.
Right.
So
and even other roles in her life and relationships that she had, things that happened in the relationship that she wasn't accepted or didn't want to have happen, she kind of put it in, oh, I'm just acting.
Right.
This is not me, Norma Jean, this is Marilyn doing this. And she even kind of went back and forth almost of a
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde vibe.
right, or a split personality, if you will, of, oh, that's Marilyn doing this. Like, she even sat in the chair one time, like, begging Marilyn to come out. Like, come on, girl. Like, come on out. Like, we need you right now. I need, to pull you out of me. And, to smile. Because so Marilyn would smile. Marilyn would go out publicly and flaunt and all those types of things.
Almost to make it seem like she, there was nothing going on.
Right. But Norma Jean was kind of like, I just want to sit back in the country. Right. I just want to get married and have kids. I think Norma Jean did want to act, but not, as we said, on the silver screen. I think she wanted to, she was part of a local theater club, acting classes. I think she liked those things. She seemed to be an avid reader.
Right.
And was knowledgeable in certain things because of things that she was reading, but just was just tough, when it came to mental health and when it came to just that abuse,
right,
on your body,
right.
She had to, I'm sure, stay a certain size and couldn't eat certain things. Like, I'm sure there was just so much going on because of the way that society had pushed her.
But I mean, so in us talking about this, we just wonder, how many people or how many of our listeners are dealing with any of these situations, because even, like, as we're talking about this mental health piece, I mean, we think about it a lot because, we have some very close family members that they are suffering from it or possibly suffering from it. And so we're trying to understand where it's going, from the sexual abuse, you hear rumors and things like that, and not sure people have dealt with it. That's why it hasn't come all the way out in certain situations, to even having to put on a fake smile,
right,
in order for them to cope with the everyday life. So, we're dealing with a whole lot in life, and I think that movie Blonde showcased everything that's going on right now, how much things have not really changed.
Right. So I think that's the other part that, as you said, some of her movies were in the 50s and 60s, and what she had to do to get some of her roles is quite similar to what has recently happened here in Hollywood with the Me Too movement. So it's just interesting, like you said, that a lot of these things in Hollywood have not changed. It's still that old boy mentality, and that network is just kind of the same.
Well, I mean, I can't just say Hollywood because, I mean, one, we're not in Hollywood, so we can't personally verify it, if you will. Like you said, that Me Too movement, like you hear people talking about it, right? But even when it comes to just regular corporate America, there's a lot of, even with that, there's still a lot of that vibe kind of going on, or the feeling that is going on, because of the way people act and how they speak and move and talk and things like that. You're not really sure how people are, what they're dealing with, You know, you're not really sure. So I think that this, movie dealt with a lot. Blonde dealt with a lot of topics that we're, like I said, we're still wrestling with today.
Exactly.
So, let me know let us know what y'all think, out there, how y'all feel about that, if you've seen it or anything like that. So we talked about some of the seriousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there were some parts in there that for me, it's like, wow, the joy or the fun that she really wanted to have in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like she seemed like she would have been a real down to earth individual.
Right.
She would have gone to Six Flags or, Disney World or something like that, and really enjoy it.
Right.
I think that based off of the time, unfortunately drugs and your industry and things like that, like they were kind of into that, not so much anything else, or at least that's not what it was portrayed like. But she just seemed like in some ways she still always wanted to still be that little kid.
Yes.
And have her innocence back, which a lot of us, lose because we had to grow up so fast in certain situations. So I think that's one of the things that I thought was also refreshing through the midst, that no matter whatever was going on, she still wanted to be a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
That was my take. Any takes that you had from that movie?
I mean, I think
that wasn't so heavy.
Yeah, I think we talked about a lot of things. For me, it was kind of, well, how many of these movies have I seen? Like they were going into
right.
some of the movies that she was cast in, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, I saw that. Oh yeah, I remember that one.
No, you wasn't saying that.
What was I saying?
Well, you was singing the songs. So
because diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Let's be honest. You wasn't just oh yeah, I've seen this movie. No, you were singing the songs. Oh yeah, I remember that one. And then you start singing the song, like okay, So
I mean, I got to learn about Maryland in the movies from high school. We had one English teacher who loved black and white movies.
Okay.
And so I don't know how often, because we saw quite a few of them. We would watch them in class, and he would give us essay assignments to do.
Okay.
And we had to write essays and answer questions about the movie that we watched, kind of dig deeper into the character and the roles, and then kind of write, again, essays on them. So I saw quite a few of her movies during my time at my high school, which was Franklin Learning Center. Why you say
No, it's the way you said it. Like you said every letter in a
okay, FLC. All right. But yes, my English teacher, I think for 11th and 12th grade, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, we would have to watch AMC movies. He had them all recorded, and we would watch those. He would give us homework assignments to watch them again if we had cable. So quite a few of her movies I did watch and had to write.
So that's the reason why our daughter likes black and white movies now? It was in your spirit?
No, her liking black and white is actually from your mother. She doesn't watch them now, but you have to remember when our child, we would take her to your mom's, yes, they would watch Cops, Bad Boys, but black and white movies were on.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but it was still in your blood. It's the same thing with musicals.
Okay.
Y'all go see a musical in a heartbeat and come back and sing the songs, and I'm not impressed.
Oh yes, you are.
Not.
We show you and give you the soundtrack, and you're like, oh wow, that, and then you start singing them too. Come right along. You just said a couple shows ago that you were singing.
Yeah, I mean,
Afro Circus and Polka Dot.
No, those are not. I guess they are musicals. I guess they're just in cartoon form. Huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I retract my statement.
They're just not black and white movies. I understand.
I mean, I mean, there are some songs that you hear because it's so commercialized.
Right.
Right. But then there are some songs where it's just like, all right, I have no clue where it's from. I can't tell you what movie it is. You could turn the movie on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the movies, those old movies, the title comes up in the very beginning.
Right.
I'm so I'm not paying attention so much, I'll miss the title. I could be looking right at it and miss the title. So, yeah, I'm not a black and white. Well, let me put it like this too. For those of you who are old enough, what was your first TV? Was it black and white or color? So to me, everything was in black and white at one time. Video games,
but a lot
cartoons.
of her movies weren't even in black and white. A lot of Marilyn's movies weren't black and white.
It doesn't matter. My first TV was black and white.
Yes.
So
everybody.
Can you
was in black and
imagine?
white.
Can you imagine being, Saturday morning cartoons?
Mm.
I mean, for an example, I give you a perfect example. There used to be a Pac-Man cartoon.
Yes.
That came on Saturday mornings,
And you
right?
couldn't tell who was Pinky Blinky.
I didn't even know what color Pac-Man was. I had to go to the video game to be reminded of what color he really was. Like, I just want you to understand what the deal was.
Everybody was gray.
Right. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
So you talk about our daughter liking black and white movies. But now I want to turn things on to you. The fact that you had to watch black and white TV, you played video games on a black and white television.
No choice. I had no choice.
Is that why,
I had no choice.
your son sees things just in black or white? Like, he doesn't... Why do you have that kind of face?
I don't think that would go that way. I didn't like the TV being black and white. I would love the color TV. I would love to see, what's coming at me in the color.
Okay.
I mean, I enjoy looking at the world in color. Why my TV had to be in black and white? I mean,
That was
come on
something.
now.
Like, why do you look at everything else? But then they couldn't figure out how to get the TV.
Well, listen.
So
again,
how
my
old,
TV.
How old are you really? Like, did you had a black and white TV?
No, all right, so let's put this in perspective, right? So, color TV at one time was a little more out of the price range, in my opinion, for what we were trying to get done. You get what I mean? So I think that's why I was given a black and white. Because most definitely my brother, his first TV was color. And we're only 2 years apart. So it's not like we're, 2 decades apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I was born, I can't even put into words, when they still had, they would still drop off the ice cubes, for the ice box, things like that. Or, they were dropping the milk off in the front door and he was, born with Teslas, so it wasn't like that. You get what I mean? So.
I understand.
So I don't know. For those of you who remember black and white TVs, can y'all feel for me, please? I'm still hurt by it, as you can tell.
Yes, you do sound quite traumatized still.
But Blonde really was a very interesting movie. I didn't think I was going to get into it as much as I did, to be honest. And I mean, I put it on because we had nothing else to watch. And now it did take us 2 days to watch it. I mean, to be honest, most recently, look, we could put on a 15-minute video on YouTube and still watch it 3 days. So, I don't know what's over the attention span, but it's definitely not long enough to,
We're in a very relaxed state in our life. So TV becomes, how do I say it? It's a lullaby for us. It puts us to sleep.
Yeah, I would say that. Most definitely. It's almost like I have no interest in the TV.
Well, you don't. You're
Not in
looking
reality.
even YouTube, and like you said, hey, I don't. Do you even know what comes on TV? Like, if you could say, oh, my favorite show comes on what night?
I mean, the only show that we watch, and we'll talk about this in another What Are We Watching episode. We like to watch Married at First Sight.
Right. And we also need to catch up on Abbott Elementary.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, so
We do.
we'll talk more about those
We do.
later on what we've been watching.
So, we thank y'all very much for listening today. If y'all have watched Blonde, let us know how you feel about it, how it's going down for you, how you're dealing with mental health moments or challenges in your life or those that are around you, and for anything else that we've talked about, how do people get help for all these situations? Be sure to share it with us. And we'll definitely share it on the episode, and we could talk about it if you would like to be a guest. We could talk about it too. So we thank you very much for listening today.
Thank you so much.
And we will holler at y'all later. Peace.
Bye.
This week's episode has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
We all know a guy who only occasionally shaves for big occasions, and it's because that occasional shave really hurts. It's the time of year for big occasions, and yet there he is, suffering with that cheap drugstore razor. Let's help him out. Henson Shaving's line of razors, built with aerospace precision, deliver a smooth shave your dad, brother, and even son can enjoy, eventually. With replacement blades just 10 cents each, you'll buy it once, and they'll use it for life. How's that for the perfect gift? Celebrate with 100 free blades on your first purchase, and no subscription headaches. HensonShaving.com/holiday.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through December 3rd, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through December 3rd, only at BJ's.